Ladies and gentlemen, it's 20 versus 20 in the third episode of Friday Night Fight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm MicOne, here with Reasoner from Liberated Gaming.
Yo.
And we are excited to bring you the third episode of Friday Night Fights, the only ARMA 3 shoutcasted match on YouTube, or actually in existence that I know of. Today we have a pretty interesting match. I think it's around 40 players attacking a central point in a village here. And I'm excited to begin by introducing the teams. On Red 4, we have ARCOM, the 3rd Infantry Division, the 2nd CR, and Merc. On Blue 4, we have Bravo Company, the 48th MI, an element of Liberated Gaming, and an element of NATO Joe. Soldiers have decided to move off here from their starting locations. We have tags enabled so you can see exactly how they're moving. What do you take of their initial movement patterns here?
I'm liking BLUFOR's movement. I think in this initial engagement, BLUFOR are going to have a massive advantage purely because of that hill. So if Dawn plays her cards right, and we know she's a good platoon leader, I think she's going to sit some units up here, especially herself, get those binocs out and just scout out. It's a really strong starting position. As for Red 4, they're going to hit the town first, as you can see, so they're going to be in the cover real quick. You've got Alpha 2-2 there pushing up real nice and fast, and using that tree line as cover. So I don't know, it's going to be pretty even. I think Red 4 are probably going to get a good foothold to start, but with the high ground, BLUFOR are probably going to make their lives hell with the first contact.
Reason, I agree with you up until a point. I mean, the BLUFOR will have the height advantage given, but they will not have the kind of terrain advantage in terms of advancing actually into the town. If Red 4 reaches the town first and maneuvers all the way to the outskirts, they might be able to get a shot on the advancing BLUFOR while they're in the open. And another thing, while they're in the center of town, that hill's still quite a ways off, around 500 to 800 meters. Gonna be difficult shooting.
Yeah, it's gonna be long range. I don't know, if it was me, I'd be leaving myself, if I was plat lead, I'd be up at the top there, spotting out and pushing my guys down that hill ASAP. We'll see what she does. You're right though; it's very barren coming over there. Although they've got some contours of the hill there, but they are going to silhouette. I don't know. Maybe the buildings will block Red 4's line of sight. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Agreed. On the screen right now, I'm going to be putting up a screenshot of the actual map, and you can see the 3 objective zones on the map: Yankee, X-Ray, and Zulu. Whoever controls the majority of those zones at the end of 45 minutes will be deemed the victor. And again, you said it. I mean, we have Red 4 entering the town first, BLUFOR deciding to adopt for a kind of lane push-back approach. They're taking positions on top of that hillside, just like you said, Reasoner. I'm not sure how this will fare for them. I mean, they're letting Red 4 get dug in that town, and that's a very scary position to be attacking into an urban environment.
Yeah, it's never going to. I mean, Red 4, they've already taken position on that first point there on the crossroads. That's already we've got first contact. Let's see first contact there pushing in. BLUFOR, as predicted, firing down the hill into the town, so they've obviously got eyes on. Pretty good suppression.
Pretty accurate fire too, coming in from that crossroads.
Yeah,
that's where I had
nice.
to pull back and pop some smoke. As the beginning of this first contact starts, I just want to introduce what this actual event is. You're watching Friday Night Fights. It is a weekly ARMA 3 player versus player, team versus team match that gathers a whole bunch of ARMA 3 communities together for nice PvP action. If you want to get interested in participating in Friday Night Fights, be sure to visit bravoco.us, and there's going to be information on that website. If you want more information, also in the description of this video, there'll be a link to how you can get your unit to participate. Here we go. BLUFOR's deciding to advance behind the cover of smoke, behind the cover of covering fire from their rear. And we're going to be seeing some close contact momentarily, Reasoner.
That's a great push from BLUFOR. Really, really nice work. I mean, they've, as you said, they had to cover that ground somehow. They've used smoke to mask their approach and covering fire. So, I don't know. You know, a minute ago, you had me convinced, but now I'm not sure. You know, not so sure with that push up on that wall. It's a great position. I think we're going to see some real close CQC stuff here, and I don't know what the outcome is. It's going to be purely down to player skill now rather than tactical command.
Definitely. Here we go. 2 contacts within 20 meters of each other. And I think another important thing to note, though, I mean, Red 4 has all their units inside the town. BLUFOR only has 3 elements. They are outnumbered in that urban environment.
Yeah, hugely. Again, I think the sort of the fire coming down from the hill is going to be an advantage. Although OPFOR are now returning fire on BLUFOR's position up behind that rock, so they're going to be pinned. I don't know. Yeah, as you say, BLUFOR in the town are vastly outnumbered here.
Ooh, there's a grenade. That cluster of OPFOR is kind of suspect. They got to separate their units if they don't want to take fire from a single grenade. That'll be very unfortunate.
They're all behind that one building there.
I think they're able to identify where the push is coming from. And another thing to note here is that OPFOR is spread out pretty well horizontally. If they get a unit to move up, they might be able to envelop the advancing BLUFOR, who's kind of, you know, on a stationed vertical line.
Yeah, I think we're going to... I don't know whether they're going to be able to wrap round without taking fire. I think BLUFOR, if it were me, I'd be pushing into those buildings, which it looks like they are pushing into that compound now. And we're going to see sort of some across-the-street firefights occurring. It's going to be a stalemate. There's no two ways about it. We're going to see back and forth fire. You know, your classic CQC town engagements. So
BLUFOR is taking heavy fire inside that building. I don't think we have any casualties on the other team. Or any team, yeah, which is interesting. There's been a lot of fire exchange.
Now, Red 4 up on their on BLUFOR's left flank now. Don't know whether they will push round. It's a risky one, especially as we've got one BLUFOR. Oh, they've just lost the BLUFOR actually.
I see that second floor of the 2-story building.
Yep.
As we get an overhead view of what's going on right now, we see the 3 BLUFOR units are still in the same relative position. OPFOR seems to be maneuvering slightly, they're in a pretty good circular position. Again, that crossroads that's being contested there is Zulu. Zulu is under contention, but Yankee and X-Ray is firmly under OPFOR control.
Fairly interesting, actually. If you pull all the way out and have a look as a bird's eye view, you see both teams here are using the left flank from their perspective to push a separate squad down. It's almost like a mirror image here. Obviously, BLUFOR are vastly outgunned in the center of town.
BLUFOR is actually putting the hell down on that flanking Red 4 squad. They're under heavy fire in that bush there. So their advance has pretty much been halted by the BLUFOR on the hill there. So that's a good check on their part.
I think that being said, if you pan over to those 2-story buildings with the orange roofs, we've already got a couple guys set up in there. And as you said, as you predicted, it almost looks like Red 4 are planning a pincer movement around that compound, which is going to mean that they get trapped. But we've got one unit pulling in now. You might be able to get a little flank there, but at the moment, Red 4 are, you know, vastly outgunning, purely manpower, you know, BLUFOR in the town. So, interesting. Very level playing field, I feel, at the moment.
Definitely. And remember, guys, at the end of the 45 minutes, whoever controls the majority of the 3 sectors will be deemed the victor. Meaning, in this position, Red 4, all they have to do is defend the ground they've already captured. They've got Yankee, they've got X-Ray. Hold those 2 points, and you've got the V.
I think now, if this was me, I'd be pulling BLUFOR off that hill and pushing in. Obviously, you've lost the momentum there, which is incredibly important for a fight like this. You know, the constant pushing out, and as you said, Mike, the winners are the guys that hold the areas at the end. BLUFOR aren't capturing any areas with the majority of their force back on this hill, and all they're going to do is make it harder for themselves to get down. So I don't know, unless they can somehow thin out the other team with marksmanship. Right now, it's really pointing in BLUFOR's area, especially as BLUFOR have taken a few more casualties in that compound.
Definitely, but the flanking BLUFOR force has, decided to make a pretty good flank into that graveyard. They killed an OPFOR element that was unawares of their position. So, I mean, they're spreading out their front, which is exactly what they need to do.
Yeah, we've got Poops and Wiki here out on the flank. And there's actually third there. Sorry, I missed him. I think his name is Sklors. Yeah,
that's right.
That's right. Yeah, so you got the three of them there in the graveyard. But we do have two Red 4 pushing them through the reeds, and those reeds are notoriously annoying. I mean, they completely block line of sight. Great concealment. Red 4 beginning to push out of those reeds now, actually, onto that graveyard. Don't know if Poops is going to clock them on his left-hand side.
Definitely. I mean, if you look down at a first-person view, there's a lot of foliage between them. They're going to have to maneuver a little bit more to the left in order for them to actually have a good sight lines on that BLUFOR. Which he's doing now, so Poops might have a shot here. And he does! He injures them, and the BLUFOR is taken out. That wasn't Poops that got killed. That was, I don't know who that soldier is.
Yeah, BLUFOR Poops went down.
BLUFOR Poops went down? Roger. So, as you said, the BLUFOR Advance, again, has been stalled on that side of the town. They actually haven't moved from that one, two-story complex and from that graveyard. That's the only position they're holding in the general outskirts of the town. Units on the hill are still stationary, but they're going to have to be the reinforcing element in order for this match to be successful. The way I see it, the ideal course for BLUFOR here, leave one team on the hill, suppressing the unit, the OPFOR element on the right, and get those two BLUFOR elements down into the town, extend that front, and then start pushing forward in a line formation with all your units. I think that's the best way to go about this. Reasoner?
Yeah, I'd agree. They're going to make a move soon. They really do, else they're going to... I've got a big engagement now, actually. 2v2 in the graveyard. They got to move in soon because, as I said, they're going to lose the momentum. Once Red 4 have a good foothold in this town, there ain't no taking it back. They can't win. The numbers, that they're not going to be able to push them, so really interesting. BLUFOR have actually moved away from the graveyard now, the two elements in the BLUFOR, and it looks like Red 4 B Lawson, if he just came around that corner, he might have a good shot behind them, although they may be aware he's there actually, so I don't know, it could be interesting.
He was injured, so he's going to be patching himself up now. Those are some pretty accurate grenades or GLs that were coming out from Sklor. So I agree, but another thing to note is that he's going to be alone on that corner there. His other friendly unit isn't coming up to support. Well, there he is now. But I think the BLUFOR in this position does have the advantage. They've been put on the defensive. Defensive is always better. Sklor is able to see him, so yeah, they've engaged. They know that they're there.
Yeah, they're returning fire now. What's going to be interesting, actually, is if these two OPFOR units do manage to kill Sklor and his other man, they're going to have a really good flank on those three guys. BLUFOR hit up on that two-story in the large compound, so it's really important for those two BLUFOR units, Sklor and I'm not sure who the other guy is there, let me zoom in his name, Wiki, to hold that side, else the other guys are vulnerable to attack. We've lost one man there, actually, in the BLUFOR 3 compound, so really looking weak now on BLUFOR's sort of front line, and I can't believe that Dawn isn't pushing units in to reinforce. Thoughts?
I think that this is a good move. I mean, if they're able to see the two BLUFOR elements on the hill, they know that they're not stationary. Those backwards elements are pretty much able to, I don't know, kind of provide overwatch if they can. Their team leaders have binoculars, and if they're able to move in, the overwatch elements should be able to see it and kind of counter it. Which, as we see now, looks like the overwatch elements on the BLUFOR side are repositioning. And I totally agree with you, Reasoner, about that Red 4 flank here. If they're able to get that flank off by this graveyard, those two BLUFOR elements in that destroyed two-story are pretty much the bulwark defending that flank.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be tough. It's now gonna be probably a situation in which if those two units can hold the flank, then hopefully the BLUFOR reinforcements can push down. Although they don't seem to be moving off yet. They've just repositioned, which may give them some good fire on the flank. They've thrown smoke, and now we see the move. Now we see the push from BLUFOR.
Units by the graveyard see it too. They might deem it to be a good time to push back. I mean, they're going to be facing eight incoming BLUFOR. But look at that. In that central two-story courtyard, there's only one BLUFOR left alive. That was definitely a great engagement for OPFOR, eliminating pretty much a whole two squads or two fire teams worth. And if we look at the numbers on the side here, we can see that the BLUFOR units have become heavily outnumbered.
Yeah, really, really. It's going to be really tough now. We've got Stardog and his guys pushing through this smoke. If they can get there, which it might look like they're going to get away with it, B. Lawson and your other man there haven't seen them in the flank. I can't believe they haven't seen that smoke, actually. Has B. Lawson seen the smoke?
He's definitely seen the smoke. I saw him look out there earlier.
Yes, he has now. Yep.
Now he's going to see them pushing through. It's a decision for him if he wants to engage, but he might not know how many units are pulling in there. But B. Lawson might be able to defend it.
This could be
Here
a
we
massacre.
go. They're lining up. B. Lawson, come on, buddy. Or don't come on if you want to root for, my home team, BC. Wow.
That's a grenade.
That was a triple kill.
Grenade has taken out 3
what a
units.
fantastic grenade. That's very unfortunate. You know what? You clump up, I guess, it was deserved, but they didn't have much cover moving in, so I guess you can kind of, credit them for, trying to move in.
Exactly.
But
that's what we predicted. That's what we predicted. They've got no hard cover coming in. As you said at the start, Mike, that approach was always going to be tough. Whether you've got the cover of smoke or not, smoke does not stop shrapnel. So, exactly. It's going to be tough. We've got 2 guys left. Striper there. Brailsy hopefully doing well. But, they're heavily outnumbered. Large engagement now by the destroyed building and the graveyard there.
Yeah, look at that.
Those 2 guys are still holding up.
Yeah, they're you know what? They're probably the MVPs of this match so far. I mean, they've destroyed essentially an advancing 2 fire teams, halted their advance, and are holding firm on that flank.
Yeah, unbelievable. They've done very, really well. But it was a good move, as I said. They've come around the side, and like you predicted, great pincer movement. And obviously now the numbers are really, really in OPFOR's favour. I think it's going to be OPFOR's game, and unless BLUFOR pull off some sort of miracle,
Oh, there we go. Another BLUFOR just went down to the OPFOR in the bush. I agree with you, Reasoner. It's looking to be very one-sided at this point. The OPFOR position is better and kind of stronger as well numerically than the BLUFOR.
Yeah, Sklor is trying to push out into the compound now, but he's got 3 contacts in that 2-story real close. He's pop smoke, but that's going to be a real tough position for Sklor to get out. My prediction at the moment is Dawn's going to hold a title as undefeated, because yeah, these numbers are just not looking good for BLUFOR.
Definitely agree. And again, to note the win condition here. It was while firstly, the control of the zones has to be the majority. Another win condition is if one side eliminates all of the other team. That's looking like a real possibility here. Although, I mean, BLUFOR still has an element of 4 in reserve on top of that hill. I mean, I would recommend they get that element in motion. What that element does is basically going to be the saving grace. If they move and eliminate, 2-to-1 numbers, they might still have a chance of winning this game. Other than that, I think it's just going to be a Hail Mary from BLUFOR in order to try to, make the last push here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the group on the top of the the group on the top of the hill there. They've really got to pull out.
Oh, look at Sklor advancing through the red 4 occupied house. It's a battle through the window, and Sklor unfortunately takes the loss as he gets double teamed through that window. And look at that. I think the BLUFOR has one. No more units for BLUFOR inside the actual town, except by, I think, one by the graveyard. One by the graveyard. Other than that, BLUFOR has pretty much been wiped.
Pushed in. Yeah, it's real tough now. I don't know. Unless Tropa can somehow come around the back here and mop up. I don't know. I don't know if they know he's there. But it looks like they do, so it's going to be miracle work.
I agree. I mean, essentially, let's quickly, as the game's winding down here. Oh, there's going to be a close engagement inside the graveyard. He able to get one. What a shot there. Man. Yeah, I mean, I think he shot him over the wall, too, which is pretty good, besides some, and he has some foliage in front of him. But he's holding for now. But other than that, let's give a quick recap of what happened in this game. I'm going to start off by, citing Red 4's movements. They moved into the town. They took positions in X-Ray and Yankee, and kind of scouted Zulu, and were on the defensive pretty much this whole game. While while BLUFOR rather, had the disadvantage of attacking into an urban environment. Reasoner?
Yeah, I agree. It's like we said at the start. Red 4 got to the cover first, and they got into the town first. And although I did say at the start, the BLUFOR have got got the height advantage there, and it has deemed them, you know, it has done them some favors at some areas of the game. Like you said, Mike, realistically, there's so much open space to cover, and it's a long way to run. You know, your troops get tired, where OPFOR's side run in, yeah, they're a bit tired, but they got walls stopping bullets, and they can sit up, rest up. And once that OPFOR pincer maneuver was around that compound, for me, that was game over. Maybe if that OPFOR duo had not flanked and taken out all like.
Oh, here we go! Shots fired on the street. Your LG guy managed to sneak away.
Yeah, Trope has just managed through, but he's hit.
Yeah, he's injured. And they know where he is now too.
Yeah, if Stardock hadn't been taken out, then maybe BLUFOR would have had a chance. But that great grenade, the trip kill,
that was an awesome grenade.
Deal, you know?
Yeah, that was Halo worthy, man. Triple kill. That was fantastic. Right on him too. I mean, that was just, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Roper's pushing through this building. You have to be real careful here, though.
He's not getting pushed, so I mean, he's not going to be pressured anytime soon, but they know he's there. And you can kind of see that the OPFOR are looking that way, or they're slowly maneuvering to get a beat on him. But again, that one man isn't going to be enough to take on an army here. Veilod's team is still stuck up at that hill, providing overwatch and supporting fire down into the actual valley. I don't know, I think the game's winding up here with an OPFOR victory. It was an interesting match, and I think it really just demonstrates the importance of being on the defensive in an urban environment and what that does. Veilod's team just lost a man, as it's now 4-10 in this match.
Yeah, I mean, it's surely odds on now. You know, Bookie's favourite is going to be, you know, is going to be OPFOR. Although I am British, so I do like an underdog. I'll still be rooting for BLUFOR. You know, maybe, hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. Have we got a time check? Do we know how long is left?
Hey, from 18 minutes has passed. So what? 45 minutes. Approximately 25 minutes remain in this match. So there's lots of time. But you know what? I feel like this might end with a OPFOR victory, just killing all of BLUFOR. I mean, they know their two positions, so it's a matter of time.
Unless BLUFOR take it real slow and manage to somehow pick a hole, I don't see how that's possible at this stage. But if they did somehow, then maybe. But I just think, you know, the sheer manpower that is in the town now, dug in, you know, well-rounded. They know where the enemies are. They know where their weak points are, and they know where to cover. It's almost impossible to push a group like that when you're just an infantry force. You know, maybe if they had some assets, maybe. But you know, with pure infantry on infantry, I don't know. It's very unlikely. I think, like you said, I think we'll see an end to the game before the time is up. I think we'll see a wipe.
I agree. And something to note here, if you look, pull back, you know, through to X-Ray and
Yankee. Moving. Oh,
there we go. Unfortunately, I took fire by that smoke. Died right in the middle of the road. Definitely a great effort from your LG guy there. Last one remaining in the town.
Yeah, Toropa. Yeah, I think Toropa did us proud. He did all right.
Oh, well, what I was going to say is, if you look farther back inside the Red Fort position, I mean, they got units spread out throughout the town. Lots of bodies to reinforce any contact to come. And now it's just going to be a long-range engagement through to the end of this match. I don't see BLUFOR pulling off this position. And if they do pull, it's going to be a wide flank all the way around.
BLUFOR have got, you know, 3 guys left. And Ixus did do really well last game. Obviously, that wasn't recorded, but he did get a good couple kills there.
Stardog has called GG. Red Fort victory. What a great match. I mean, lots of action right off the 20 minutes of fun. Reasoner, thank you for commentating with me.
Yeah, no worries, man. Absolute pleasure. Really enjoyed it. First time shoutcasting. Given the old voice box a workout, but really fun. Great game to watch.
Well, guys, that was Friday Night Fights, Episode 3. I'm MicOne, you're awesome, and we'll see you on the next episode of Friday Night Fights.